You know how some days are just normal, and then there are days that change everything? Well, we're about to talk about one of those days. A single 24-hour window that completely upended the tech world. We're talking power, security, even something as simple as logging into your email. It all changed.
Mark this date on your calendar. April 7th, 2026. This is a day people are going to be studying for a long time. And the crazy part? It wasn't just one thing. It was three massive, earth-shaking events all hitting on the exact same day.
So think about this. What happens when a tech empire practically crumbles overnight? When the very lock that keeps the entire internet safe just breaks? And when that thing you do a dozen times a day, typing in a password, suddenly becomes a thing of the past, all in one day? It's a lot. Let's get into it.
All right, first up, let's talk about the geopolitical shock. And honestly, this one hit the stock market like an absolute earthquake. We're talking about the sudden, shocking fall of a real tech giant. Just look at this number. That's what traders saw flashing on their screens, a loss of $450 billion in one single day. That was a 23% drop for NVIDIA, who, let's be real, was the undisputed king of AI chips. And this wasn't because of a bad quarter or anything like that. Nope, this was all because of one single announcement from the other side of the planet.
And this is why it all went down. China's Loongson technology just dropped this bomb, the 4C3000 chip. I mean, the numbers here really tell you everything you need to know. You're getting 80% of the performance of NVIDIA's best chip, the H100, but for less than half the price. We're talking 12 grand versus 30 grand. Oh, and it uses way less power. This wasn't just a new competitor on the block. This was a total game changer.
So where did this even come from? Well, it didn't just appear out of thin air. Remember those US sanctions? After that, China pumped an insane amount of money, we're talking $200 billion, into building up its own chip industry. And what did they get for it? A massive breakthrough, a 5-nanometer chip. And here's the kicker. They did it without the high-tech Western machines they were banned from buying. They literally invented their way around the problem. And it's not some lab experiment either. It's already powering data centers for companies like Alibaba and Tencent.
And if you want to know just how shocked everyone was, listen to this. These are the words of NVIDIA's own CEO, Jensen Huang. On an emergency call, he basically admitted they got it completely wrong. They thought they had a solid 5-year lead on the competition. Poof, that lead was just gone overnight.
This chart really puts it into perspective. This is what was on the line for NVIDIA. China wasn't just some customer, it was their biggest market, 40%, a huge chunk of their entire revenue. And that market is now, for all intents and purposes, just disappearing. Okay, so that was shock number one. Buckle up, because the day gets even weirder from here.
So, if the NVIDIA story was a massive crisis for the market, this next shock was a crisis for, well, for everyone. This isn't about stock prices anymore. This is about the fundamental security of the entire internet.
Okay, just take a look at this. On one side, you have the time it would take the most powerful supercomputer on Earth to crack our standard encryption. That's RSA 2048. The answer? 300 million years. Now look at the other side. That's IBM's brand new Quantum System 3. Its time? 8 hours. Yeah, this isn't just a step up. This is like going from a horse and buggy to a starship.
So why should you care? Because that RSA encryption, it's the lock on, well, pretty much everything online. We're talking about 90% of the internet. It's what protects your bank account, your private DMs. It's literally the S in HTTPS that keeps you safe when you're browsing. And on this one day, April 7th, 2026, that universal lock was basically shattered.
One of the top experts in cybersecurity, Bruce Schneier, put it bluntly. He called it an existential crisis. Suddenly, this whole idea of upgrading to post-quantum security wasn't some far-off someday project. It became a frantic, we need to do this right now emergency.
And let's be clear, this isn't just about which company has the coolest tech. This is a full-blown geopolitical race. China is also making huge progress with their own quantum computers. So what we're seeing is the official start of a quantum arms race. I mean, think about it. The first country to really master this can, in theory, unlock anyone else's secrets.
Okay, so we've gone from the global stage to the very foundations of the internet. Now, this third shock brings it right down to you, to something you probably do, 20, 30 times a day without even thinking about it.
Passwords. We all use them, but let's be honest. They've always been the weakest link in the chain.
The numbers don't lie. A crazy 81% of all data breaches happen because of weak or stolen passwords. The big tech companies have known this forever, and on this particular day, they finally decided, okay, that's it, we're done.
So in this historic joint announcement, you had Microsoft and Google basically coming out and saying the password is dead. And this timeline shows they weren't kidding around. This isn't some 10-year plan. Google started switching new accounts over to passkeys like that day. Apple made passkey support mandatory for all apps, and they put a hard date on it, January 1st, 2027, no more passwords.
So what does this new world even look like? It's actually super simple. You go to log in, use your face or your fingerprint or a PIN on your phone, and boom, you're in. That's it. The magic is that the secure key that proves it's you never actually leaves your phone or computer. It makes it almost impossible for someone to phish you or steal your login. So yeah, it's way easier and way more secure. It's a win-win.
Okay, let's just recap. A tech empire gets rocked, the internet's master lock gets broken, and a daily habit for billions of people is on its way out. So let's put all the pieces together and figure out what this new world actually looks like.
So this is the new lay of the land, basically. First, the idea that the US completely dominates high-end computer chips, that's over. It's a much more competitive world now. Second, everybody, and I mean every country and every company, is now in a mad dash to make their security quantum-proof. And third, your online identity is changing. It's not about what you know anymore, like a password. It's about who you are, your face, your fingerprint.
And all of this leaves us with one huge final question, right? In this new world of splintered markets, unbreakable codes being broken, and our very identities shifting, the old rules don't apply. The power has definitely shifted. The only question left is, who has it now?